James Melendez, James the Wine Guy. Stay tuned for a review of this beautiful Villa Maria Marlborough called Cellar Selection Sauvignon Blanc. Really excited about this, and I think Sauvignon Blanc is, I have a few wine varieties where I have found over time, in the beginning I thought, oh, they're acceptable, they're okay, and ultimately I've grown to love wines like Sauvignon Blanc. I think it's an amazing wine variety where I think that's the best way to fall in love with something, which is at first it seems to be, okay or unremarkable, and then subtly it just hits you. And I think that's the beauty of Sauvignon Blanc for me. It's really become one of my favorite wine varieties that I really look forward to. It's its acid forwardness, its complexity, its beauty. It's so you have different Sauvignon Blancs from around the world, Chile or Napa Valley, or thinking of other places, say Santa Barbara County, thinking of course, France, thinking of New Zealand, right? But for me, it's a really great testament when you think about wine, and it comes to you on your own terms, right? So here we go with this wine. It's very important to give yourself a really decent pour. The reason is that you need your glass to work with you, obviously, but a sufficient quantity to aromatic tones to taste through, smell, enjoy, and become in love with this wine. So let me introduce this wine to you right now. This is Villa Maria. This is Marlborough Cellar Selection Sauvignon Blanc 2013 vintage, 13% ABV. I'm sure it's a label you've seen all across the U.S. and most major cities across the United States, that is. Back panel you see New Zealand Sustainable. So it's a really great testament to see New Zealand and many producers subscribing to New Zealand Sustainable. Now this label is family owned and operated by Sir George Festanich, and it's one of my favorites. So here we go with this wine. Now you probably haven't seen this particular bottle, so let me take from stage right. This is the one you probably see most often. This is Private Bin, another fantastic Sauvignon Blanc. A beautiful Sauvignon Blanc here. It just gives a really unique footprint of Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand. They do not all taste the same, and I'm glad to say that, because you have to taste through a number, obviously, and get that experience and realization, because I think it's really important to not say all Napa Valley wines taste like this, all Spanish wines are like that. It's really to break out and to think of wines individually. Of course, there's some signatures from some varieties in some regions, but ultimately it's a bottle that's driven by the winemaker. In addition to, sometimes you hear wine is made in the vineyard. Well, to a certain extent it is, and to another extent it is not. It's a combination of the two. It's a partnership. So here we go first with the scent characteristics. Beautiful notation here of nectarine, Meyer lemon zest. Additional notes of hibiscus and seashell. So here we go with the taste next, and a flavor characteristic, and then a point score. Nuanced, beautiful, gracious wine here. Notes of grapefruit, papaya, white nectarine, almond, fennel, and seashells. I give this wine a 9.3 out of my 10.0 scale. Now, for more reviews, and I'm going to also post the other video that I'm going to complete of Villa Maria right up here as well, so the Private Bin review will be up here as well. Stay with me on this great journey. It's a great place to be tasting wine, a great time to be alive tasting beautiful wines like this. A very beautiful producer here. You'll find me on most social medias, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, Google+, and Pinterest. Salud.